Okay, so that's a brief overview of the content center. Now you'll get to know this quite well, and it really does depend what you're doing, whether you're doing mechanical engineering or you're just creating something to build in your home workshop. What you're doing depends on how much you will use this or what you will use from this content center, but it is very handy, especially for the structural shapes and the fasteners. So I just want to go back to our model. Our connection we made with the bolt and the arm, we now want 3 others, so we want them in these holes here. And we can do that just by using the pattern command like we've used before. So circular pattern, and we want to do it around this axis here. Okay, and we'll select our bolt, and we'll select our nut, and we'll select our washers. You can select them here, you could also select it over here. There we go, and we click OK. And now we can see we have our 4 arms, which will all rotate on this. It's beginning to look like a kind of umbrella kind of thing now. And they will all move together because it's a pattern. So if we move one, they will all move together. Okay, if we'd have put them in individually, they would have moved individually. So the benefit of using them as a pattern is they will all move around. And that might be something you want to do. If you wanted to animate this, you might want to show it spinning around, and as it spins around, these kind of move out with the centrifugal force. Then you could change. You do need to grab, if you can see it's not letting me, you do need to move the item you used to create your pattern. Okay, so you can do that, and late in another course, in a more advanced course, when we get into animating and things like that, you'll see how you can drive the constraints. You could put an angular constraint or something, you could drive that. But anyway, that's advanced for this beginner's course. So you can see the potential here, and you can see how you can use this. It actually reminds me of the bottom of a tripod, this. So maybe that's something you wanted to make. That's how you would do it. So one thing I want to tell you is this: what we've been doing so far has been an introduction. This whole course is kind of an introduction to Inventor. Inventor is a massive, massively complex software. It's also quite simple. It all depends how you want to use it and what you want to do. Now, there are courses out there that try and teach everything in one go. Now, I purposely, in my experience, when you try and teach everything and the advanced techniques straight away, it just becomes overwhelming. And that's why I think the software, to some people, has got a reputation of being too complex. I really believe the best way to learn this software is to learn these basic techniques of the basic constraints, modeling and placing, and just start using it to create. Either just trying to replicate parts you've got, or actually using it to do what you want to do. If you're building things in your home workshop, start building items with it. At work, start building simple items. And you can do that using the techniques we've learnt so far. Most of the more advanced techniques are ways to speed up the things we've already learned. So when we did this bolted connection here, you could have asked Inventor to create that for you. There is a way of telling Inventor, okay, before we even did any holes, you can say, okay, I want you to put a connection through here, through these pieces. I want it to be a bolt, a couple of washers, and Inventor will work out. It will do the hole size, and it will cut the hole. It will work out what fasteners you need, everything, and it will do that automatically. To me, that's a more advanced technique. People try to teach that straight away, and the problem there is if you don't understand the concepts, if you haven't done it the simple way by just constraining bringing the items in yourself and constraining it, if it goes wrong, You don't really know why it's gone wrong. Also, to do it, Inventor's going to ask you a whole load of questions about what you want. And you don't really know what you want and how you want to achieve it if you haven't done it manually. So, certainly in the beginner's course, I like to teach how to do things manually, bring things in separately, and work the way we've done so far. Which for some people is all they need. For others, they do need to know the advanced stuff, so they do need to move on to that, or they just become interested in the software and they want to learn everything about it. But that's an overview of the content center and bolted connections. Again, the advanced courses, the intermediate courses will do much more automating of this. So, okay. But for now, that should be a good overview of how you can use the items in the content center and how you can use insert constraints to create mechanical assemblies.